National, state, and local elections are right around the corner. We'll meet some of the local candidates that you may not have heard much about. Also, an interview with each of the top Indiana gubernatorial candidates. That's next on WNIN Newsmakers. Welcome to WNIN Newsmakers. I'm April Nading. We have statements from candidates in Vanderburgh and Warrick counties on the show today. Later on, we'll hear from the top candidates running for governor of Indiana. First up, the candidates that are running for Vanderburgh County Coroner.
Hi, I'm Keith Mosby, and I'm running to be your next Vanderburgh County Coroner. The coroner's office is in charge of investigating and determining the cause and manner of an individual's death and finding their next of kin and assisting the next of kin. I have worked in the office as an investigator for 12 years, and I consider it an honor to work in the coroner's office because every day that I go to work, I get to help somebody out. My priorities as your next coroner will be working with Noah Robinson with regards to our opioid epidemic in Vanderburgh County by coming up with some public education programs to reach out to other groups and schools to let them know what's going on and the resources that are out there. I would also like to work with the Vanderburgh County Suicide Coalition to help educate people about resources that are in the community if people are struggling with mental health issues. I am the only candidate in this race that has worked in the coroner's office, and I would appreciate your vote on November 5th. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Brian Underwood, and I'm running for the position of Vanderburgh County Coroner in November 5th's election. Just a little bit about me. I'm a lifelong resident of Vanderburgh County. I grew up right here in Evansville. Went to Lodge Elementary School before I went to Glenwood Middle School. And then from there I attended Bossy High School my freshman year and graduated from Harrison High School. I've been a business owner. I'm currently employed with the Evansville Police Department. I'm a 25-year veteran of the police department. I'm a 15-year training officer. And I've been in the Adult Investigations Unit for 5 years. And my duties in there is to investigate violent crimes. I deal with all deaths except for anything hospital or hospice related. The biggest reason I'm going to run for Vanderburgh County Coroner is I feel I've done 25 years with the police department. I feel like there's something else I can add in my career, and one was being the coroner. What I would like to bring to the coroner's office is for my staff and myself to show the families of the victim compassion and integrity. We deal with these families at the worst times of their lives. This is a time where they've lost a loved one, and I feel that is something that we need to do throughout our time with the family. The other thing I would like to do, I've seen many families who struggle that don't have life insurance. I would like to also bring that to the table and build a fund in my late wife's name that I lost to cancer. She was big in the community in helping people who was either didn't have insurance or didn't have the funds to take care of themselves. So I'm wanting to do that to help offset the funeral cost or the burial of the loved ones, just in the case of the family that couldn't afford to take care of their loved one. And last but not least, I would like to be able to get into the schools and middle school and high school and talk to them about drug abuse and how it affects the people's lives once they lose a loved one from drug abuse. I think that's a real big thing that we need to do to try to offset this drug addiction that we have going now. And that's why I want to be the Vanderburgh County Coroner.
To hear from more Vanderburgh County candidates, check out the last few episodes of Shively and Shoulders at video.wnin.org. Next, we'll hear from a candidate for Warrick County Commissioner.
My name is Tony Curtis. I'm running for Warrick County Commissioner, District 3. I wanted to thank WNIN for this opportunity. I'm a lifetime resident of Warrick County, where my wife and I are raising our 7 children. I'm a former Tennyson Town Council member, which gave me the opportunity to serve on the Warrick County Area Planning Commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals. I'm a member of the Skelton-owned Volunteer Fire Territory. I'm a former process engineer from SRG Global. I'm currently the plant manager at Lincoln Industries in Boonville. I have a background in market-based management. This is a philosophy that empowers individuals and organizations to succeed long-term by applying the principles of integrity, compliance, humility, respect, and knowledge. I will use integrity, transparency, and proven leadership to make data-driven decisions to empower long-term success for Warrick County. I will use my skill sets in market-based management, data analysis, budget management, project management, Red X problem solving, and cause map problem solving to lead Warrick County into a strong, empowering future. You can follow me on Facebook at Tony Curtis for Warrick County Commissioner, District 3, where I will be posting my full experience, qualifications, and answering questions. Again, thank you for this opportunity.
Now we'll meet some candidates for Warrick County Council at Large.
Hi, I'm Pat McIntyre Brooks, and I'm a candidate for Warrick County Council at Large. Some people likely do not know what the council is responsible for and what an important job it is. The council is responsible for the budget and for making certain the county departments are funded properly. In Warrick County, there are over 200 funds. Some receive revenue from transfers, from funds, from grants, even donations. Of course, taxes are certainly a source of funds. All must be used wisely. Tax levies are produced by expenditures. The general fund shows about $23 million, which does not include funds for the township, expenditures, and levies. At the present time, the council is planning on building a new jail and being able to fund the project, which is estimated to cost $50 to $55 million. Commissioners are responsible for contracts, building maintenance, ordinance, and they serve as the county executives. The council must work with the commissioners and agree on projects before spending the money. It's important you know who you elect for county council. I'll give you a little of my background, some of my qualifications for the office that I am seeking. Again, my name is Pat Brooks, and I'm a lifelong resident of Warrick County. I grew up on a farm near Nagonia Springs. I attended Tennyson School and Boonville High School. I earned a BS degree from USI, graduating cum laude with a minor in business administration. I have a wide range of experiences serving on boards, service, organizations, and involved in my church. I was a bank officer and a branch manager in banking for almost 10 years. My late husband, Donald, and I founded Newburgh Tax Service in 1981. I served as the Ohio Township Trustee, the Warrick County Treasurer, and Warrick County Recorder. I have years of business, finance, and budgetary experience. As Township Trustee, I oversaw the building of the fire station on Epworth Road, which was accomplished under budget. As Recorder, I reduced the operating budget. The Recorder's office now offers property fraud alert free to our county's property owners. This is one more way that I have strived to help the residents of Warrick County. As a Warrick County Council member, I plan to use my extensive experience in money matters and my years of service to serve the residents of Warrick County. I appreciate the tax burden on people and plan to be responsible with budgeting and managing resources of Warrick County. I feel I'm extremely qualified and very eager to continue to serve the residents of Warrick County on your Warrick County Council. Thank you.
My name is Mason Barkley, and I'm the Democratic candidate for Warrick County Council, and I'm a graduate of Boonville High School's 2016 graduating class. I'm running because I want to show other young people the importance of community involvement and show them that any age can be involved and create change in your community. As a lifelong resident of the community, I've experienced both the challenges we face and the immense potential we have to create a brighter future together. I hope to bring a fresh perspective to the table. While many other candidates may have years of experience, I believe I offer a new approach that embraces innovation and collaboration. I believe it's essential to blend the wisdom and experience with the energy and enthusiasm of new ideas. As someone who has grown up in Warrick County, I understand the unique needs of our community and the aspirations of our residents, particularly our younger generations. I believe in the importance of being fiscally responsible. This means making decisions that prioritize our community's needs while managing our money wisely. I will advocate for responsible spending and transparency in our local government, ensuring that your tax dollars are used effectively. Our community has immense potential, and I'm committed to investing in our infrastructure, supporting local businesses, and ensuring that our public parks and spaces are welcoming and well-maintained. These are not just ideas, these are necessities for a thriving community. As a Warrick County Council member, I will prioritize open communication with everyone. Your voices matter, and I want to hear your concerns, ideas, and visions for our county. Together, we can work on solutions that reflect the values and the needs of our residents. I am dedicated to building a Warrick County that is economically sound, inclusive, and vibrant. I ask for your support in this campaign, and together let's make Warrick County an even better place to live for generations to come. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to earning your vote.
Recently, the top 3 candidates running for governor of Indiana sat down with Indiana Public Media's Brandon Smith. Here's what they had to say.
Well, thank you for sitting down with me. I want to start with an issue that seems to be on the top of mind for so many Hoosiers, which is their property tax bills. Your approach looks at tax relief, but not necessarily tinkering too much with the property tax system itself. Why did you decide to go that route?
Yeah, so first of all, we tried to take an approach that was bipartisan. So we took some language that had been introduced by Senator Holdman, who I have great respect for. He's Republican. We also took language from Senator Godora, who's a Democrat. And they had really good language with existing fiscals to do it the way we're doing it, looking at it through a different lens, looking at it more through that state lens versus the local, because we were very concerned about the local level funding. So when you've got schools and libraries and police and fire and parks and the list goes on that are being funded through that, and I talked to enough local leaders, they were like, we can't sustain that. So we knew we wanted to give some property tax relief, but also not hammer the local levels.
Is there any way to rein in the state's Medicaid spending without cutting services that people are already receiving?
No. And what's scary about that, from what I have learned and what I've been told, that the last budget cycle there was just such a shortfall in the allocation that whether it was miscommunication, mishandling. I don't want to. Regardless of the reason why, there was a big lack of dollars there that was needed in that allocation, and then you have over the expenditure of what went up, and you've got the perfect storm for what happened. And so someone needs to be held accountable for such a huge error, because it has impacted services. And some of the changes that have also been made have been extremely hard on families, in addition to being on long waiting lists that are going to take years to address the needs of. It's a financial piece of it, it's a workforce need of it, it's a red tape problem. The Medicaid fix is going to be very, very difficult, and it's going to be very expensive. But like you mentioned, there are a lot of big ticket items that are going to be gobbling up that budget quickly.
We've seen Mike Braun now saying he wants to make the school choice voucher program universal. Is that the right move for Indiana? And if not, as governor, what realistically can you do when it comes to the voucher program?
As we expand that program, the data shows us it's clearly kids who have already gone to private schools. We're just now funding it. They come from typically a suburban white, wealthier family. And so when we look at the intent of the program versus what is happening with the program, that gives us pause as well. It's not about getting kids who are at risk out of poor performing schools or getting kids who went to public schools and it just didn't fit, giving them a different choice. That's not what this is about. It's very interesting how that program is working, but we need to pump the brakes on school choice. We could capture hundreds of millions of dollars a year. The last biennium was very expensive, but in totality, you're looking at $1.6 billion. We cannot sustain that.
You've made women's reproductive rights, the state abortion ban, a central theme. As governor, what can you realistically do to address the concerns that many Hoosiers have about how far that ban has gone?
The fact of the matter is this election's about we're either going to have a governor who trusts women or who does not. I'm the only candidate who has been pregnant, and I've given a live birth, and I understand firsthand the complexities of pregnancy. And I don't dismiss it is a complex issue that people have their own opinions, their own faith beliefs about it, their families have their own opinions, but it is so complex and such a massive decision. That's why we have to trust women, we have to trust healthcare providers, because there is no perfect situation to that complex issue. We need to have choices.
Thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Thank you. Thanks.
I want to start by talking about the thing that seems to be on a lot of Hoosiers' minds, which is property taxes. You, of course, have released a property tax plan that would see significant reductions in people's bills. But the consequence of that is also that it would potentially drain resources from schools, libraries, fire and police departments. Can we promise Hoosiers property tax relief without costing local government?
So the bill is mostly about the feature of limiting increases in the future, because that's the complaint that everybody had, is their bills got skewed by things that happened federally that created inflation. Since that was skewed most unreasonably, and homes were, it was just to reset it where it was pre-COVID. And then going forward, it doesn't impact revenue in the sense that it puts a lid on it. It's a template that you're going to have to get at least half of the legislators to agree with.
One of the biggest budget issues the state is going to be grappling with is the Medicaid program. Is there any way to rein in Medicaid spending without cutting services that some Hoosiers are getting already?
Proudest thing I've done in the real world of running a business, our government, was when I fixed health care with no consultant or advice. If you've got the nerve, rebuild the system on prevention and wellness, give your employees the tools to do it, make them healthcare shoppers and consumers on your scratches and dents, minor stuff, protect them on catastrophic risk from an injury or an illness. It did all of that, cut costs by over 50%. We've not had a premium increase now in 16 years. People think that can't be true. It can be if you're entrepreneurial, you take a little risk. I want to weave that into our own state government's healthcare policies.
An exponential part of education funding, of the education budget, has been towards private schools through the school voucher program. Indiana has near universal voucher eligibility at this point. Would you want to see that expanded? And do we need to have some sort of greater academic accountability standards for those private schools that accept public dollars?
Definitely the latter. And academic standards and accountability for the vast public school system, I think, still has not been fleshed out in a way that it needs to be. I like choice, and I think parents ought to be in the driver's seat, not established education. And students need to have all those options as they navigate from K through 12 so that they're prepared with the right choice of what to do once they're out of high school.
So you think get rid of the income limits on that program entirely?
I'm going to look at what the sweet spot is for maybe enhancing some of the stuff that's worked, but certainly looking for accountability, that you're not getting a stipend from the government and you're not performing.
Is Indiana in the right spot on abortion rights?
Republicans finally kind of got what they wanted to come back to the states, and it did get vetted. It got passed by a supermajority. I think Indiana is a pro-life state. I don't think a legislator has lost his or her job on account of it. And if it's not right, you'd have to bring it back up. I think you make an issue out of that when you're maybe afraid to talk about some of the other issues that I think especially national Democrats are weak on. And my question to Jennifer McCormick would be, where do you stack up as a Hoosier Democrat on all the big issues that Democrats espouse above and beyond abortion?
Senator Braun, I wanted to thank you again so much for sitting down with us.
My pleasure.
So thank you for sitting down with me. I want to start with something that seems to be on a lot of Hoosiers' minds, and it's certainly been a major issue in the campaigns so far, which is property taxes. How do you address people's property tax bills without struggling or hitting local governments in a way that they're going to struggle in their budgets?
So when somebody says to me, well, your property tax plan is going to reduce the budgets for fire and police, I'm going to say no. The local government's already decided to do that with tax increment financing. What my proposal forces local governments to do is to decide, are we going to fund the necessary functions of local government and take care of the people with the tax dollars that the people are paying, or are we going to continue to give it to economic development, which should be private development, not private development funded with taxpayer dollars?
One of the most growing parts of Indiana's education budget is private school vouchers. We have a near universal program now. Only the very uppermost income limits are barred from getting those dollars. Would you like to see that program expanded further to basically be universal, get rid of the income limits?
I am 100% supportive of not only universal school choice as it's currently defined, but I believe that we need universal school choice that allows parents to find any school option that provides the right environment to maximize that child's positive outcomes, whether it's state accredited or not. I believe we need to decentralize education in the state of Indiana.
Lawmakers are looking ways to curb the exponentially growing cost of Medicaid for the state of Indiana. Is there any way to rein in those costs without cutting services to Hoosiers?
The services that have been promised to Hoosier citizens, the state government made the promise, they need to keep it. We have a $1 billion accounting error, but we also have in the last budget about $1 billion of new budget allocation to the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. But to tell these people, well, we made a budget mistake, so we're going to have to cancel this program, but it's okay because the IEDC is going to bring in 1,000 new high-paying tech jobs that you won't be able to do because you've got to stay at home with your child. Again, morally and ethically reprehensible to me.
We have Indiana's near total abortion ban. As governor, would you like to see that change? Do you think Indiana's abortion rights are in the correct place?
The current law needs to go through any and all legal challenges that may need to go through the court system, and that the state legislature should listen to the people, and if there are adjustments that need to be made, they should make them. I'm a pro-life libertarian, but I don't believe that one person should make that decision as to what changes should be made within that particular legislation. I believe that that is a very delicate issue, and I'm really tired of politicians using it to get votes.
Well, it seems like a perfect note to end on. I want to thank you so much for sitting down with me. Really appreciate
Well,
it.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us to learn more about some of the local candidates that will be on the ballot this November. You can check out more local election coverage at WNIN.org. I'm April Nading. Thanks for watching WNIN Newsmakers.